Hey, my name's James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now in this video, we're going to talk about the property news for July 2023. These are really popular videos on my channel and we're going to deep dive into what's been happening in the last month and what we think is going to happen going forward. So make sure while you're here, if you haven't done already, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. We're going to hit 6,000 subscribers by next week. And we've done over 500,000 views now on the channel. So thank you to each and every one of you for watching this channel so far. So what is going on in property at the moment? Well, it's been a busy month. There's been tons of news. In fact, the channel views this month were up 50% on May, which was really interesting. So what is going on? Well, not as much movement as people might have hoped or probably expected. You see, we've had record interest rate rises. So we've had 13 months now of back-to-back interest rate rises. So in June, the Bank of England took the base rate from 4.5% all the way up to 5%. So a half a percentage point increase. Now that was big. And it was unsure whether they would actually go that hard with the interest rate rise in that month. A lot of people were really unsure. The markets were looking at 0.25% to 0.5%, with more people leaning to 0.25%. But what happened was, a few days before that meeting with the Bank of England, the inflation data came out, and it was absolutely horrendous. And we have inflation in the UK sitting now still at 8.7%. And it was interesting, I read an article today and it was saying that we are one of the only G7 countries, meaning one of the wealthiest countries in the world. We're one of the only G7 countries that's got super high inflation, and it actually rose in certain areas in that month, which is absolutely crazy that the government's just not dealing with this. And they don't have many options, but I think that they could be doing a little bit more. There's lots of people profiteering off the UK economy at the moment, and it's causing a lot of pain for a lot of people. Now, the inflation is supply side for a lot of things. So that means that you can't impact that yourself. So their goal is to make you spend less, push us as close as they can to a recession, if not into a recession, to stop that spending and bring that inflation down, because companies will then discount to sell products and services that they need to get rid of. And it's just not working. In my opinion, it's just not working. And we can't control gas and electric prices. And that's what's really hitting us as consumers at the moment. So it's a tough time for a lot of people, particularly those on lower incomes. If their gas and the electric goes up by 100 quid a month to them, then that wipes them out. Pretty much wipes out a lot of people in the UK. So inflation is the biggest concern for the government. The pledge from Rishi was to halve it to 5% by the end of the year. Not so many people believe that he's going to do that now. So let's see how that goes. So inflation is obviously sticky. And a lot of countries in the G7 are in the 4 percentage points now. So they've got 4.5%, 4.7%, and we're at 8.7, nearly double, which is insane, right? So house prices. There were some massive crashes on an annual basis in London. So let's put that so you know what that is. So in London, in Chelsea and Kensington, there were drops of nearly 15%. In fact, more than 15%. Can't remember which way around it was. It was Chelsea and Kensington, massively down on an annual basis, 15% down. Now that is officially a crash in those areas. And that's interesting to see. Now, that isn't probably indicative of the general UK property market. Not many of us can afford to buy in Chelsea or Kensington. But what it shows is that international buyers aren't seeing the value in the London market at the moment. And that could be because maybe their currency's got weaker, the pound's got stronger, they're not really going to be impacted by the interest rates because they're probably cash buyers. But it shows that less investors are investing in central London. So that's something to keep an eye on. Now, the outskirts of London, or pretty much the rest of London, is okay. It's not crashing like that. It's only really these ultra high end areas that have been hit so far in London. Doesn't mean the rest of the UK won't be hit. So what's happened with prices in June? So house prices in June went up 0.1%. Is nothing, right? It really doesn't mean anything. A 0.1% is just an accounting error or whatever. It's a flat market basically. And so that data came from Nationwide. We'll have Halifax data later in the month. They like to keep their data slightly separate from each other. But yeah, it just shows that the market is still fairly flat. On an annual basis, we are down 3.5%. And all of that came at the back end of 2022. So the back end of 2022, we had the mini budget, we had lenders pulling deals. So there was a good negotiation if you were buying at that point. Sellers would often take deals and stuff like that that they might not have at other times because people just couldn't get mortgages for a few weeks. So that's interesting. On an annual basis, we are down, but this year, as in calendar year 2023, we've had 0.1 up, 0.1 down. It's kind of equaled out. And so it is kind of a flat market at the moment. We've had some land registry data through for this year that's showing similar sort of results as well. And so, yes, the market might crash. Yes, the market will move some way. I think it will go downwards for sure. But it isn't showing a crash at this point. The government have said that their belief is that the economy is strong, the jobs market is strong. Nationwide, Halifax, they've been saying the same stuff. Nationwide also came out with their data for June and said that they feel it's possible that we could get a soft landing still. A soft landing is under a 10% drop. Now, that is something that I listen to, and I've mentioned this a few times, because I feel that they've got data that other people don't have. They get the data first. So they know who's been approved for a mortgage today. They know what the valuations that they've got booked in their diary in the next week or 4 weeks. So they kind of see what is going on in the market. No one else can get that data. Now, we don't have the cash buyers data. None of us have that until the land registry gives us that with a massive lag. But look, if the mortgage lenders are saying they're not feeling a crash is in this calendar year, it doesn't mean there's not a crash coming. It just means that it might be pushed out until 2024. And that's what I'm saying. Property is a very, very slow moving product. And that's important to understand. What else is there? I think that's it, really. I think that's pretty much covers everything here. So it's been a brutal month with interest rates. We've gone from 4.5% to 5%. Comment, let me know what you think about that, where they're going to end up. Inflation not moving at all was interesting. We were expecting it to go down to the low 8s, which would have still been very high. London, we've got some data. London's officially in a crash now in the centre, in the luxury area. House prices, another flat month. Some of you will have some opinions on that. Maybe you think that when the land registry finally catches up with all the cash buyers and other transactions coming, that will be adjusted and we'll see more of a downward trend on that. But annually, we're down 3.5%. Where do you think we're going to end up? So I'd love to have a discussion with you. I'd love to know your thoughts and comments and observations on what is going on in the property market. It's an interesting time for sure. I'll tell you one thing. There haven't been many deals around in the last 6 months that I would have gone for. And now I've got a few on my plate. So I'm working with my broker to get some bridging in place, to get some money equity released and make sure I've got that. I've got a pot of cash that I'm sitting on as well. And so we're actually looking for deals now. And so I think there's opportunities out there. If you're an investor, there are deals that weren't there 6 months ago. There are people that just need to sell, or they're worried about inflation, they're worried about interest rates, and they just want to use their money in other things. So that's an opportunity. But look, let me know all your thoughts and comments. And if you want to join the Property Accelerator, it's £1, 7 days. I'll train you, I'll mentor you, I'll give you all the strategies that work in this market right now. So in the pinned comment is going to be a link where you can click on that and give it a whirl. That's it from me. Check out all the other content on my channel, including this video right here.